back at Red Wilson Field as the Red Sox are at home to take on the Orleans Firebirds for the second day in a row. Yesterday was a lopsided victory for the Red Sox, who put up 13 hits. The final score was 8-2 against the Firebirds, who struggled against YD pitching. It was a extremely impressive performance from Jackson Kent and Ryan Delgado. The two of them went the whole game. It's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley alongside today, as always, bringing you all of the action from Red Wilson Field. YD has dropped their last two at home, a team that's been really strong at home most of the season, looking to right the ship today.
Yeah, and the Red Sox, I think, got off on the right foot after the All-Star break yesterday, and they've collected a couple of straight wins on the road. Now they're looking to get right here at home, as like you mentioned, they've struggled here of late after being pretty dominant through the first half of the season at Red Wilson.
Wins at Brewster, Chatham, and Orleans. They swept their away series, which was really, really impressive for a team that had lost 6 of their last 10 games before that away series, but have really gotten back on track here. And they lead the East by 7 points. Orleans is right behind them, but a win today could put the Red Sox in a really, really good position to close this one out and win the division at the end of the season. Time's ticking down. Today is our ninth game, or we have 9 more regular season games, including today. I had no idea how to phrase that. And Jason Doktorzik is on the mound today, starting for the first time all season, a guy that's come in a couple times in long middle relief. He has the capacity to go 4 or 5 innings. We've already seen it, and as a starter, should be good stuff from the righty out of Nevada. He'll face Joe Oyama stepping into the lefty box. The perpetual leadoff hitter for the Firebirds has been phenomenal this season, but yesterday YD really shut him down, a guy that has terrorized YD in the past. Yesterday he reached on a walk once, but other than that did not get aboard. His average, though, still at 369 for the season. And he goes after the first pitch. It's strike one from Doktorzik.
Yeah, Doktorzik's a guy who's got plenty of capacity to start. He tied for the team lead in college at Nevada in terms of most starts in the spring, with 14 of them.
Oyama pushes it foul, and he's down 0-2. Doktorzik is a guy that was not on the roster for a long time before the season. He was a really late addition, but he's been here and has been a consistent contributor all year. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Joe Oyama goes down on 3 pitches. Really strong start for Jason Doktorzik.
Next up, out of Virginia, number 23, Justin Rubin.
Justin Rubin, the designated hitter. He had a couple of hits yesterday. He had, 1 hit. He was 1 for 4 in 5 plate appearances. He was also hit by a pitch. That was the first pitch of Ryan Delgado's outing. All the way in the back of the box, toe on the back line, and Doktorzik is milking this pitch clock. Rubin jams the first pitch foul for strike 1. Justin Rubin has played 2 years at UVA, but is transferring to Pepperdine University. Doktorzik fires, pushed foul again, down to an 0-2 count. He's been really good at forcing soft contact and missing barrels this season. He's been a guy that's trusted the guys behind him in the field to make the right plays, and so far it's worked out pretty well. The 0-2 comes in, swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts for Jason Doktorzik to start things off here. Forcing the soft contact, how about no contact as the first 2 Firebirds go down.
Number 11, Jack Penny.
Yeah, he has been untouchable so far. Doktorzik got the late call to start today, and he has come to play through these first couple of batters.
Next on the list is Jack Penny out of Notre Dame. And the shift comes in with Austin, who's at second base, all the way backed up into shallow right field around the horn today. Galete at first, Jackson at short, Austin at second, and Darby at third. The outfield from left to right, we have Casey Cook, Kling, and Braden Montgomery. The 0-1 slides into the zone. Doktorczyk is hammering the zone right now. Only at 8 pitches. Could retire Penny with one more. Doktorczyk fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Jason Doktorczyk strikes out the side. Starts things off. I don't think there was a ball thrown in this inning. Perfect from Jason Doktorczyk, and that'll send us to the bottom half. YD with Austin leading off when we're back on the Cape League broadcast.
Out of Vanderbilt, number 9.
Back for the bottom of the first, RJ Austin leads off. And just to clarify, Jason Doktorczyk just threw an immaculate inning in the top of the first. 9 pitches, 9 strikes, all 3 went down swinging. That was a spectacle to start things off, and the first pitch is now on the way to Austin. From Ivan Romero out of the University of San Diego, he starts things off with strike 1.
Former member of the YD Red Sox.
The curve drops outside. A good hold from Austin moves the count to 1-1.
2.2 ERA over 6 appearances last summer for Romero playing in a YD uniform.
The 1-1 jammed up the first baseline, and that stays fair as Cam Trudel is sending Austin to second, but he takes a big round. Jake Casey got there really fast. Nice work from the righty, but Austin starts things off with a base hit.
Next up,
and that brings up Hunter Hines.
Man, he has just been automatic with those. RJ Austin just shooting that one up the opposite field line. And he's a guy you can count on for at least 1 hit every game. Yesterday he had 2 of them.
Jumps out to a sizable lead here against the righty. Who deals a first pitch ball to Hines. Last week, Hines hit his 10th home run of the season. And we still have 9 games left for him to climb up there. Austin ready to jump. And the pickoff comes in. He's back safely. Romero really hunches over to get into that windup, almost like he wants to look at the strike zone at eye level. Ball 2 flies in high. Hines, meanwhile, not even stepping out of the box in between pitches. He is ready to go after anything over the plate. Instead, ball 3 high and away. Pitchers have been noticeably pitching around Hunter Hines, who carries the most powerful bat probably in the league. One of the most powerful bats this league has ever seen. He's really up there. Check swing, ball 4, a 4-pitch walk, and there's runners on first and second for Braden Montgomery. Another guy who's been a power bat in the lineup. He's just been spraying the gaps.
Yeah, this is a good part of your order for YD and Montgomery, followed by Xander Darby to be coming up in a runner-on-base situation. These two guys have been swinging the bat well lately, and in addition to hitting for contacts, both Montgomery and Darby have been carrying a lot of power as well.
Darby with a home run yesterday. Smashed it way out of the park on the right side. Big leads from Austin and Hines. No one really covering Austin on second as Montgomery rolls strike 1 foul. The outfield is backed up way deep. Center and left are pulled over slightly towards the left, so the biggest gap right now is out in right center where we saw Montgomery hit yesterday. He's batting lefty right now. He's a switch hitter. As ball 1 drops in the dirt. We've seen him hit from both sides of the box. Can't say that about a lot of guys. Orleans has a switch hitter themselves, but he's not in the lineup today. That's Colin Tuft. We saw him bat from both sides of the plate yesterday. The 1-1 comes in, chopped up the first baseline, and goes foul as the count goes 1-2. The YD Bats have been really hot lately. 13 hits yesterday in their win over Orleans, and they're starting off hot here. Romero deals. Ball 2. Coach Pickler dealing out signs. We've seen him be really aggressive and go for hit and runs, even on 2-strike counts. 2-2 swung on and missed, runs in on the batter, and Montgomery chases high for strike 3. That's 1 gone in the inning for Xander Darby.
That was a well-pitched at-bat by Romero. He didn't really give Montgomery anything to hit, but made the pitches close enough where he got Montgomery to swing at a couple, got him in a 2-strike count, and then just brought the high heat up.
And YD is not a team that sits on their heels and waits for the pitches to go over the plate. They'll attack even if it's slightly outside of the zone. This is a team that's hungry for hits. And Darby goes up the middle on the ground. That sneaks through. Austin being waved around third. Hines holds up at second, and YD strikes first. They lead 1-0. Xander Darby picking up where he left off yesterday. Home run, a couple of singles on top of that yesterday. Gets a single here for an RBI. Adds to that tally as well. Runners on first and second again for Manny Garza. Garza, another switch hitter in the lineup. We've seen him on both sides of the plate today. Batting lefty to start things off. The catcher out of Rice. He takes a first pitch curve just outside. Garza, the native of Rio Grande City, Texas. The 1-0 popped up foul and out of play. The immaculate inning in the top half gave YD some momentum, and they've run with it. With 1 gone here in the bottom half, starting off strong already at the plate. Huge lead from Darby. Nobody's covering him on first. The 1-1 bounced foul. Almost got over the head of Stallman at third. That ball went a mile high. But luckily bounced foul as Stallman ended up grabbing it out of the air and likely would have just gone for the unassisted out at third base to get that lead runner. Runners retake their lead. Garza, foul, tips it into Carpelotti's glove, and that's out number 2 as Romero has gotten 2 gone swinging.
Next up, out of UNC Chapel Hill, number 16, Casey Cook.
Casey Cook up for his first time around. He's a bat that's been heating up. His average has only been climbing. Made some adjustments to his swing and has been finding gaps ever since. YD, a team that's dangerous on 2 outs, and a first pitch strike falls right down the heart of the plate.
And Cook has been a really clutch 2-out bat in this lineup as well, kind of embodying that 2-out hitting mentality.
Goes after it here on the ground, straight towards second. Oyama has it, and the throw is in time. It's a long one here, 18 pitches from Romero. But that's 3 outs. We head to the top of the second. YD leads 1-0 at Red Wilson Field on the Cape League broadcast. Back for the top of the second, and after that immaculate first, Matt Halbach is up in the 4 spot playing first base today. Steps into the righty box with his back foot on the line, maybe even slightly over, really far back. Doktorzik deals the first pitch, chopped up the middle. Doktorzik doesn't have it on the hop, and neither does Austin, as that one was kind of just in no man's land. I think that will probably be scored as a hit, as all 3 infielders on that side were converging in on it, and that is the first hit. So there goes the immaculate game, but Doktorzik resetting now for Eddie Micheletti Jr. Micheletti, the lefty. That slider from Doktorzik is just disgusting. The movement laterally coming across, it starts in the righty box and ends up on that outside corner. It's almost an unhittable pitch when he's locating, and today he's been starting off locating really well around the outside edges of the zone. The 0-1 comes in. That one doesn't get the spin, and it's a ball and a strike.
That's the first ball of the game by Doktorzik. 12 pitches in.
Eddie Micheletti Jr. played at George Washington University, but is transferring to Virginia Tech come fall. The 1-1 flies in. That slider again ends up perfectly centered for strike 2. Micheletti yet to swing. Might have to now. From the stretch, the pickoff towards first sends Halbach diving. The 1-2, just high. Doesn't get the vertical break at the end. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Micheletti Jr., who batted .384 during his collegiate season, coming in at .262 here in the Cape. Doc Torzik has a long wind, and it's flared foul at the last minute as Micheletti saw it dropping towards the zone on the slider and swung defensively to poke it away. We've seen just one pickoff towards Halbach on first. His lead is slight. Gleed over there defending the bag. Infield pinch towards the middle as the 2-2 flies in on the batter. 4-3. It's a full count, first we've seen today. The outfield is shifted to the opposite side and the infield slightly to the pull side. The payoff. Chopped up towards first base. Gleed has it. Gets the lead runner at second. Doc Torzik wasn't at the bag to go for the double play, but what a play from Dub Gleed, recognizing he got that on time to get the out at second. Really well done from the first baseman.
Yeah, that's a really tough play to wait on that. Most guys would just throw to first there, but Gleed, he was looking back and forth between second base, the runner, and the ball that whole way and knew he had the time to get the lead man.
Gleed has been a lockdown defender all season at first base. He's become the everyday guy there. As a first pitch strike flies into Brandon Stallman. Stallman had a 2-for-4 day yesterday. He scored one of Orleans' 2 runs in the game. There's a runner on first with 1 gone. Doc Torzik from the stretch delivers, and it's grounded foul. Strike 2. That left side of the infield still pulled over towards the bag. Jackson is very close to second base at the shortstop position, and Darby shifted well off the line at third. Orleans beat the shift a couple of times yesterday. As the 0-2 comes in, grounded right up the middle, goes off the glove of Doc Torzik. Jackson gets the throw across the diamond, and the heroic stretch from Gleed is not in time. It's really a tough play to make as the pitcher. You want to go for it, but at the end of the day, kind of accidentally got in the middle of the play. It was scored as a hit, runners on first and second, as Stallman starts off his day 1-for-1. Owen Carpellotti, the catcher, stepping in for his first time around in the 7th spot. Garza wants a chat, however, with Doc Torzik. Owen Carpellotti, a native of Canton, Michigan, goes to Georgetown. He was in all Big East second team selection. He was a Big East championship all tournament team selection as well. Had a powerful year over at Georgetown. He hit 16 home runs. On the Cape, he has 1 home run, 7 RBIs, 1 runner in scoring position right now. First pitch on the way, slider falls in perfectly for strike 1. The second slider just misses outside, a ball and a strike. quieter day here at Red Wilson Field, but the fans are slowly trickling in as the 1-1 comes in. It's bumped foul for strike 2. Carpellotti was late on it. Start time has been moved up to 4:30. That's a result of the sunset moving up now that we have passed the summer solstice by quite a bit, over a month now. And YD without lights, just trying to make sure the whole game can be played. So 4:30 start times for our last 4 home games as well. Pitch comes in just off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Carpellotti waving the black bat. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Strike 3, foul tip goes into Garza's glove. An important out with Orleans threatening.
Next up, out of Louisville.
Yeah, Doktorzik still hasn't really had any sort of hard contact off of him, but a little bit of a jam there with the first and second and 1-out situation, but that puts him just a step closer. He's gotten a lot of weak contact. A couple have turned into base hits on the infield. See if he can continue to get that soft contact, get a little bit luckier with where those balls end up on his defense.
Orleans left double-digit guys on base yesterday. They stranded them loaded in the 7th. That was Ryan Delgado came in.
And as a result, we see a different bottom 3 in the order for Kelly Nicholson and Orleans.
Carpellotti, Casey were not in the order yesterday. The 0-1 lined up the middle, and it bounces in front of Paxton Kling for a base hit. The throw comes in towards home, but Nicholson throws up the stop sign on Micheletti Jr. as Eddie King gets a base hit, just nicely lined up the center field gap.
Out of Kent State,
King's been good against YD. He didn't get the call yesterday to be in the lineup, but he has had some solid contact skills against the Red Sox this season. We've seen him a couple of times. It's been a while since YD has seen Jake Casey.
Bottom of the order for Jake Casey. He's 1 for 6 against YD with a walk this season, an RBI and a run scored. The kick and deal flies in on the outside, half for strike 1. Doktorzik has done a really nice job starting off ahead in these counts. He's thrown very few, if any, first pitch balls.
Yeah, 27 pitches and 22 strikes is excellent for Doktorzik.
The 0-1 drops just low. It tails off at the end. And Jake Casey does not bite. Contrary to YD, who usually goes after it early in the count, Orleans today has held off, often not swinging until already in a 2-strike count. 3 hits now for the Firebirds, 2 for the Red Sox. Bases loaded, 2 gone. The 1-1, a big swing and a miss, foul tip into Garza's glove, and this one could be ended with one more pitch. Doktorzik is taking his time out there. We saw 1 pitch clock violation from YD yesterday. Just a small lead for Micheletti on third. Pitch comes in just off the plate. Casey doesn't bite. 2 balls, 2 strikes. With 2 outs on, the infield stays at normal depth. The 2-2 drops inside. Garza thought that was it. He stood up, thinking it was a called strike 3. Instead, goes Jake Casey's way. We have not seen him swing the bat in this one as he's run it full. A decisive next pitch as a ball could tie the game. A strike could end the inning. Doktorzik fires strike 3, called on the outside corner. What a pitch. Clutch from Doktorzik, who strands the bases loaded, and that slider has been on point today. YD keeps the lead as we head to the bottom half of the second. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League broadcast. Dub Gleed leads off for YD as they managed to keep their 1-0 lead. The drama was at its peak with bases loaded, a full count, and Doktorzik came up clutch to end it with a strikeout looking. Jake Casey didn't swing once, and Gleed swings at the first pitch, pops it up into shallow center field, charging over King Jr. Will make the catch for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 gone. Good start for Ivan Romero.
LSU, number 14, Paxton Kling.
Brings up Paxton Kling out of LSU. We actually have the LSU head coach, Jay Johnson, in attendance tonight, national champions, here to watch his outfielder as Kling takes a strike on the slider, falling away, hits that outside zone. 0-1 with 1 gone.
It's only his second time here on Cape Cod. He said he's been sending his guys here for a while, but it's only come up the last couple of years. Said that he loves sending his position guys to play for Coach Pick because he knows he'll work them hard.
The 1-1 comes in, grounded towards third. The backhand from Stallman, the throw across the diamond, nicely scooped out by Halbach for out number 1. It was a long one. He dug it out behind the bag, and Kling couldn't get there in time. Nice throw from Stallman to make the play. Brings up Ryan Jackson. Jackson hit his first home run of the season yesterday, a big one out towards left field. Exciting moment for the shortstop out of the University of Southern California as he takes strike 1 over the middle of the plate, sporting the red and yellow on his cleats. As the 0-1 falls in outside. 2 gone quickly here in the bottom half of the second. Jackson trying to get the scoring going again for YD. He's batting in the 9th spot. If he can get a board, it would flip to RJ Austin, who has 1 hit today. Pitch come in, flare foul for strike 2. Romero deals, grounded up the middle, bounces off the mound, and takes a big bounce over Joe Oyama's head. He waited back on it, and that was a mistake as Ryan Jackson reaches. That extends a hit streak for him. He's been really seeing the ball well lately, continues that today, and that flips the order.
And it has been an unlucky couple of days for Joe Oyama. A lot of bad hops over these past couple of nights for the Orleans second baseman. That's another.
First pitch to Austin. He hammers it fair down the third baseline, now rolling towards the fence into the bullpen. Sprinting around third. The go sign is put on for Ryan Jackson, and he's safe in time. That was flawless execution from Austin, who's dancing over on second after the stand up 1 RBI double. He's 2 for 2 on the day. The easier half of the cycle.
He's shown his ability to go both ways. Hit a ball hard to the opposite field for the base hit in the first. Collects the RBI double, ripping one to the pull side here in the second.
We said Jackson could get the scoring started, and he did. 2 hits in a row from the bottom to the top of the YD lineup brings up Hunter Hines, the lefty out of Mississippi State. Goes after the first one, hits it well out towards center field, but it looks like it'll drop, and it does as Jake Casey tracks it well, runs a couple of feet, but eventually there. Hines got that one off the tip of his bat, and that retires the side, but YD strikes for another one. They lead 2-0, heading to the top of the third. Top of the order coming up for Orleans as they try to bite into YD's 2-0 lead. Jason Doktorzik has hung 2 zeros on the board so far to start things off. And Oyama, who, as you said, Luke, has been a little bit unlucky trying to get things going here. He shows a bunt, pulls back, and it falls in there for a called strike one. That breaking ball has been phenomenal from Doktorzik today. Every single Orleans batter has their foot on the back line of the box. They're waiting until the last second trying to catch the break, and still it's fooled most of them. The 0-1 on the way. Flies off the plate. It seems that 1-2 pitch from Doktorzik, the slider coming in, if it's a strike one, he then puts it on the outside half trying to get the chase. 1-1 comes in, hit well out towards right field. Montgomery underneath it at the fence makes the grab. Oyama hit 2 home runs last Friday. They were his first 2 of the season in a doubleheader against Chatham, hit 1 in each game. But here can't quite make it, even though Red Wilson Field, one of the smallest fields in the league, brings up Justin Rubin.
Yeah, it's one of those deceiving flyouts here at Red Wilson that doesn't look like it's hit very hard and ends up at the wall.
First pitch on the way, bumped foul towards the ancient security camera over here in the backstop fence. Foul ball turns into strike one, 0-1 with one gone. The pitch drops in just inside. Doc Torzik up to 38 pitches, 28 of them have been strikes. The 1-1 comes in at the top of the zone, strike two. Already 5 strikeouts for the righty hurler. Pitch on the way, and that's number 6. Drop third strike on the breaking ball. Garza scoops it up, applies the tag, and Doc Torzik continues. He is on fire today. And Jack Penny's coming up with 2 gone. He retired the top of the order, 1, 2, 3 in the first. Trying to do the same thing here. Oyama and Rubin already gone. First pitch on the way, the corners come in, and that breaking ball flies in over the center as we expected it would for strike one. Darby is pulled way in on the grass right now. That fastball towards the outside, Penny holds off. That same first and second pitch combination. Austin out in shallow right field. Doc Torzik into the wind, pitch on the way. Grounded up the middle. Jackson has it and throws it on time to Dub Gleed. That time the shift works perfectly as a ball that otherwise might have snuck through. Instead, Jackson gets it on the run to keep Orleans scoreless through 3. We head to the bottom half on the Cape League broadcast.
Montgomery.
Braden Montgomery is back for his second time around. Going back to the lefty side as well. Went down swinging his first time facing Ivan Romero. YD has put up 1 in each inning. Both of them with 2 outs. As the first pitch curve flies high for ball 1. Montgomery lines it up towards center, and that drops in shallow left center field. He has another hit. The launch angle has been so flat from Montgomery. It's what allowed him to get on base so many times. Loud cheers from Xander Darby. We have some signs in the crowd. It looks like the whole Xander Darby fan club is out here today at Red Wilson Field. First pitch on the way, flies off the plate for ball 1. Darby already has a hit today. He's 1 for 1, put it up the first base line, made Casey chase after it. Romero fires, big swing and a miss from Darby for strike 1. Darby awaits the 1-1 and flies it out towards left field, going back towards the fence. Micheletti Jr. underneath it, and Montgomery will return to first, held up on the flyout.
Next up, out of Rice, number 26, Manny Garza.
Manny Garza also went down swinging against Romero, comes back up to the plate with one gone. Montgomery still on first. It's a sunny, hot day here, not a lot of wind going on. Garza again batting lefty, takes a first pitch strike at the top of the zone. Deep breath from Romero. He's set, and the pickoff comes into first. It was close, but Montgomery slid his hand back in there in time. The 0-1 on the way. Flies high. 4-1. Garza is batting .364 through his first 6 games played coming into today. That's just 4 for 11, 3 runs scored, 2 doubles, and an RBI. Really good start from the catcher out of Rice. And he rips the 1-1 into right field. That's another base hit. Braden Montgomery rounding second. He's on his way to third and in there safely. Garza continues the hot streak. He's aboard first. It's been line drive after line drive for the Red Sox. They have 6 hits already.
Yeah, it's been paper cuts as opposed to the heavy extra base hit numbers that we've seen throughout this little win streak that the Red Sox have going. They do have 1 extra base hit coming from R.J. Austin, the RBI double in the last inning, but it's been predominantly singles for YD. They've been getting good bat on the ball and just finding those gaps in the infield and shooting it over the infielders' heads.
Casey Cook looks at a first pitch strike. He's 0 for 1 today with a ground out. There's just 1 gone here in the bottom of the third. The inning-ending double play is in effect with the force at second, an option for Orleans. The 0-1 flown out towards left center, coming in. Both of the outfielders drop. Montgomery tags. The throw on the way is way off target, as Carpellotti has to run halfway up the third baseline to get it back, and the streak continues for YD. They've put up 1 in each inning so far. Could do more damage here with 2 outs and a runner on second as Casey Cook records the sacrifice fly.
Yeah, really nice job by Casey Cook. Just get good contact. The last thing you want to do in that spot is ground into the inning-ending double play. Just get something to the outfield deep enough. He did his job, and now a runner in scoring position for Dub Gleed.
Gleed 0 for 1 with a fly out as well. All the way back in the box, Romero hunched over and now set. Nobody guarding Garza. The first pitch comes in for strike 1. Really nice pitch to Gleed, just on that inside half of the plate. Would have been a tough one to wrap around. Smoked off the bat, foul from Dub Gleed. Counts 0-2 to the righty out of UC Irvine. Romero trying to limit the damage here. He's allowed 3 in 3 innings. Pitch on the way, and Gleed holds off. You could see a little movement in the shoulders, but that one flew well above his shoulders. It's a nice take for ball 1. The 1-2 on the way, drops outside, gets away slightly from Carpellotti, but Garza holds up as the count evens at 2-2 with 2 gone. Paxton Kling on deck if it gets there. He's in the 8 hole. Garza set, he deals, ripped up the third base line, but foul. YD's done a nice job up the lines so far today. Austin has 2 hits up the lines, 1 to each side. It's been all over the field. Couple liners to center. The 2-2 ripped out towards left center field, heading back to the wall, but King has it on the run. Looked really good off the bat, but can't sneak out of here. Gleed retired on the flyout, but YD puts another one on the board. They lead 3-0, heading to the top of the 4th. It's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Top of the 4th inning here from Red Wilson Field. Luke West Poley, Perri Kitei alongside. Red Sox have been dealing body blows to the Orleans Firebirds through the first 3 innings. A run in each of the first 3 for the Red Sox as they lead at 3-0. Jason Doktorczyk has been dealing in this game. The first pitch to Matt Hallback is lifted in the air towards the infield, and it is playable. The catch made by Ryan Jackson. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 4th. Doktorczyk with an immaculate inning in the first. He struck out all 3 swinging and got through it in 9 pitches. And he went from one extreme to the other in terms of throwing scoreless innings as he left them loaded in the second and then got back to his shutdown ways in the third, retiring the top of the order once again, 1-2-3. 1 away for Eddie Micheletti. He grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up, and he takes a first pitch strike. Micheletti, the 261 hitter, has not faced Doktorczyk this season until today. Lifts the 0-1 foul, 0-2.
I really don't think Doktorczyk has been down in the count at all today. He's been ahead, I think, every single batter. I don't remember seeing a first pitch ball to anyone. He's just been hammering the zone.
0-2 hit on the ground. It's off his glove. R.J. Austin still might have a play if he hustles. He rushes it to first, and it's over Dub Gleed's head. Manny Garza backed it up, and that ball did not leave the field of play. So it will be just 1 base for Micheletti. Orleans now with 4 hits, and only 1 of them has left the infield. It's the 3rd infield single for the Firebirds as Micheletti is aboard. That's the 2nd time also we've seen a ball grounded up the middle that has hit off the glove of Doktorczyk that could have been a ground out to the middle infield. Additionally, 1 more that Doktorczyk was trying to play in a bounce that he just lost. Brandon Stallman is the batter. Takes the first pitch down and in for ball 1. So it's been tough going relating to these hits against for Doktorczyk when he has been dealing throughout the rest of this game. He has not really suffered any blemishes to this point, still scoreless, but none of the hits could really be pinned on him as a pitcher. 1-0. Misses off the corner. He tried to backdoor it. That backdoor slider has been located very well throughout the early portions of this game. Stallman ahead in the count, 2-0. He hit an infield single his last time. Orleans trying to cut into this 3-0 YD lead in the top of the fourth. That time the backdoor slider finds the zone, and it's 2 balls and a strike to Stallman. Yesterday he was 2 for 4. With the exception of Matt Hallback, might have been the best offensive performance of anyone in the Orleans lineup in a lopsided 8-2 loss. This one cracked up towards Doc Torzik, could be 2. He throws to second for 1. Jackson to first in plenty of time. It's a 1-6-3 double play, and the top of the fourth inning comes to an end. Jason Doc Torzik has been absolutely shoving, and he is scoreless through 4 innings. 3-0 Red Sox headed to the home half. 8-9-1 due up when we return. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League.
Batting out of LSU, number 14.
Paxton Kling leads off in the bottom of the fourth inning for YD. 3-0 the Red Sox lead over the Orleans Firebirds. A run in each of the first 3 innings from the Red Sox, and on the defensive side of things, Jason Doc Torzik has been absolutely on one today. Romero's first pitch trickles away for ball 1. Doc Torzik has given up no runs off 4 hits. 3 of the hits were infield hits. No free passes. As this one is ripped on a line out to left, and that drops in for a base hit. Micheletti plays it on a hop. Paxton Kling, in front of his college coach who's in attendance today, has his first base knock. And the exit velo on that one, I'm sure, very high, as the leadoff man is aboard for YD for the second straight inning.
Took the words out of my mouth, Luke. Showing off for his coach. Kling has displayed power. He has a home run this season. That one was crushed on a line. Just dropped in front of Micheletti, not giving him any chance at the play.
Runner goes. The hit and run was on. Jackson swings and misses at a pitch way up high, but Paxton Kling swipes the bag. The hit and run was on. Credit to Ryan Jackson for doing everything in his power to try and hit that pitch, but there was no way he was getting a barrel on that ball above his head. So he goes down in the count 0-1, but Paxton Kling steals the bag into scoring position. Was just going to say, speaking of home runs, Ryan Jackson hitting his first of the season yesterday, and he can now drive in another for the Red Sox, as instead he'll square to bunt, pulling it back. Jackson singled and scored in the second inning. YD shortstop out of USC has really been a reliable bat since being added to this lineup. And he will lay the bunt down. Romero fields and overhands over to first. Kling moves from second to third as another insurance run for YD is just 90 feet away with one gone. And Mr. Automatic coming up to the plate. RJ Austin in this game has singled and doubled, a run scored and an RBI for the second baseman out of Vanderbilt, who has gone up the right field line and the left field line in this game.
First pitch ball dealt. Austin loves to go after the first pitch of an at-bat. We've seen him do that a lot of times. His last hit was off the first pitch.
Check swing, pop up over to first, and the catch is made by Hallback, who made his way to it. So an unfortunate one there for Austin as he floats one into the glove of Hallback in the infield that will not advance the runner. And the Red Sox will rely on Hunter Hines for the 2-out RBI.
Hines is 0 for 1 with a 4-pitch walk and a fly out to right field.
Lefty warming up in the Orleans bullpen as Kelly Nicholson has made his way out. Fellow West Coaster along with Scott Pickler, Kelly Nicholson from the state of California. Having a talk with his pitcher, the two, of course, great friends. They have met many, many, many times in this league. And the two among the most respected head coaches in this league as well. Nicholson just shaking his head. He gives a pat to Romero, who's going to stick around, try to get out of this inning against Hunter Hines. 36 ribbies on the year for Hunter. He could add to that today. 250 hitter.
Leading the league in RBIs.
Still by a pretty significant margin. And he takes the first pitch, burning the bottom of the zone for strike one. Time it flies outside, 1-1. Hines worked the walk back in the first inning, flew out to right. In the second. Hines lifts this one out towards right field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Hunter deposits one into right. And it's an RBI single for Hines. Another run comes across, so one in each of the first four now for the Red Sox, and it's 4-0. As Hines has his first hit of the day, and the Red Sox are looking to continue this rally with Braden Montgomery at the plate.
Every run today has been scored on 2 outs. It just shows you how this team likes to put together rallies. They've done this all season. They never back down, never give up. We've seen some late inning comeback efforts. It's a team that's just unafraid every time they get up to the plate. They're not intimidated by the count, by the outs.
2-0 to Montgomery.
That was Hines' 37th RBI of the season. Cole Mathis of Catuit is behind him at 28, and after that it drops off to 23 with Grant Hussey from Wareham.
Montgomery goes up the middle. That's a base hit. Hines will put on the brakes at second, but back-to-back singles on 2 outs for YD. And the inning will continue for a red-hot Xander Darby. That's going to be the end of the day for Romero as he allows a couple more hits following the mound visit. And so he will exit here in the bottom of the fourth. 2 gone. Red Sox are rallying. They already lead 4-0. Looking to add more with Xander Darby at the plate. We will return with a southpaw on the mound on the other side of the break. You're watching Red Sox baseball on the Cape League. Xander Darby comes in to face a new arm, taking the mound for Orleans. It is Ryan Reeses, the senior left-hander out of UC San Diego. He has pitched in 2 games this season, both in relief for the Firebirds on July 15th and July 21st. 3.37 ERA for the Triton and 5 strikeouts in 2 2/3 innings. Xander Darby is 1 for 2. This will be his first time facing a southpaw.
UCSB on UCSD.
And Reeses' first pitch is a strike. That'll make the count 0-1. Reeses has given up only 1 run across his 2 appearances. Came in his last outing against Chatham, just 1 run in 2 innings of work. That was 3 days ago. First and second, 2 gone for the Sox. Already have 1 here in this inning. Darby takes down low, ball and a strike. So the exception of the run line, which is not final for Romero, he went 3 2/3, gave up 9 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. As of right now, 4 runs, but responsible for both runners on base. One is a looping breaking ball, and it's in there for strike 2.
Reeses comes out of a really high arm slot, so when he throws that fastball, it has a lot of downward movement and comes in with the breaking ball at the top of the zone to mess with the rhythm of the batter.
1-2 is looped left side. That will drop in for a base hit. Hines is going to hustle around third. He will score. And Xander Darby comes up clutch with an RBI, his second hit of the day. The Red Sox get their second run of an inning for the first time all game, and they lead at 5-0.
Just a bloop shot, and Hines was rounding third. Coach Pickler sent him because there wasn't a ton of hustle to get to that ball. Because it was kept in front so much, it just died in the outfield, and Hines wasn't even challenged at the plate.
So a 5-0 game now as YD, as they did yesterday, has taken control of this one. Manny Garza is 1 for 2. Same situation as the last batter with first and second 2 outs. 1 more run on the board for YD. Garza hits this one well out towards center, but King will have a play on it, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Good wood, but that one finds a glove, and the Red Sox are limited to 2 in the 4th. 5-0 our score with YD out in front. They chased Ivran Romero out of the game and headed to the 5th. The Red Sox dominating the Firebirds. Back in a moment. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League broadcast. The 2023 Cape Cod Classic is back at Dunkin' Donuts Park in Hartford, Connecticut, home of the Hartford Yard Goats, AA affiliate of the Colorado Rockies, this Wednesday, July 25th at 11 a.m. as the YD Red Sox take on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Tickets can be purchased online through Yard Goats ticketing at mlb.tickets.com. July 26th this Wednesday as the Red Sox will take on the Harbor Hawks. Doc Torzik back to it for YD here in the 5th inning as YD leads Orleans 5-0, and he deals a first pitch ball outside to Owen Carpellotti. Catcher out of Georgetown. One of a few to be ahead in the count, and swings and misses. That'll even it back up at a ball and a strike. Doc Torzik has now thrown 53 pitches, 4 innings, no runs, 4 hits, only 1 to the outfield. Foul tipped on the 1-1, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Additionally, no free passes from Doc Torzik, who has struck out 6 batters through 4 innings. Didn't have a strikeout in the last inning. Got through it in 3 hitters with the double play. 1-2 to Carpellotti, way off the plate. He's had a feel for his off-speed especially. The backdoor breaking ball has been working for Doc Torzik, and the Whitey bullpen empty, meaning this will be Doc Torzik's game for at least the foreseeable future. 1-2 is flown out towards right center field. Paxton Kling has a beat on it, and short of the wall, he'll make the catch. 1 gone in the top of the 5th.
Next up, out of Louisville, number
That ball was
14,
skied. Mile high. Paxton Kling had all the time in the world to get over to that gap.
Eddie King up at the plate. He is 1 for 1. It's been a rare time that we have seen a ball in the outfield against Doc Torzik. His first pitch misses inside for ball 1. Just that 1 hit to the outfield that actually came from Eddie King, who was at the plate, and then 2 flyouts to outfielders for Orleans thus far. Everything else has been contained within the infield. Front door strike on the 1-0 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. This one ripped down the left field line. That's a base hit. Carrying up towards the wall. It's cut off in left by Casey Cook. King is going to dig for second, and he will reach there standing up. It's a 1-out double for the Louisville Cardinal, Eddie King. And a man into scoring position for Orleans for the first time since the second. 1 out for Jake Casey.
Nice piece of hitting from Eddie King Jr. Just straight up the line. The outfield was slightly shifted to the other side, so Cook had a long run. He's playing left field today. We haven't seen him out in left field all season. He's been primarily a right fielder, but today Montgomery's over there in right field, so Cook has flipped to the opposite side.
Casey got rung up his first time at the plate, and the first pitch will come in. Takes the ball high. The usual spot that Casey Cook is occupying in left field is normally R.J. Austin's post, but he's over at second base today. He plays infield normally. Both Cook and Austin actually listed on the Whitey roster as infielders, but both of them have predominantly played outfield for the Red Sox. Austin has seen a couple of games at second base for YD after being in the infield for most of the season for Vanderbilt. Pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Swing and a miss on the 1-1 offering. That's strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes to Casey, who has shown a lot of power. The Kent State Golden Flash has just 9 hits on the year, 3 of them home runs. Sun coming out to peek through the clouds, say hello. Swing and a miss. Got it by him on the 1-2, dropped it underneath the bat of Jake Casey, who strikes out for the second time. 7th K for Doc Torzik, who came in with less strikeouts than innings pitched, and he's got 2 gone now in the 5th. Back to the top of the Orleans order. First three in the order for the Firebirds, a combined 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts. Joe Oyama's 0 for 2. Backdoor breaking ball misses for ball 1.
That slider has been so deadly, particularly because Orleans is a lefty-heavy lineup, and that allows Doc Torsick to locate it first outside of the zone, then inside, because he doesn't have to worry about potentially hitting the batter. With righties, he has a little bit of a tighter zone to work with.
That slider almost works in two completely different ways to lefties and righties, as Oyama flies that one foul, because you're talking to righties. If you're a right-handed pitcher, that slider, you're trying to generate the swing and miss by having it slide away from the hitter and getting them to chase, whereas like in this situation against the lefties, if you can get it in the back part of the zone, you're trying to get called strikes and just paint corners. Ball and a strike to Oyama. And he floats this one out towards left field, right at Casey Cook. He doesn't even move while making the catch. And that retires the side. We're halfway home from Red Wilson Field. It's been a quick one, and YD has been smooth sailing. It's 5-0 Red Sox headed to the bottom of the fifth. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League broadcast.
Now batting out of UNC.
Bottom of the fifth inning from Red Wilson Field. Luke West Poley with Perri Kitei alongside. Casey Cook at the plate for YD as the Red Sox lead at 5-0. First pitch is on the way, and it drops low for ball 1. It's been a fun day at the ballpark. It's been a fun couple of days for YD since the All-Star break, and even before it. The Red Sox have been hot lately. 1-0 pitch comes in on Casey Cook. Red Sox are winners of their last 3 games, looking to make it 4 here today. Cook takes ball 3. Good fan attendance showing out on a Monday afternoon. Earlier start time, talked about it yesterday, talked about it also a little bit earlier on in the broadcast. 4:30 the rest of the season here at Red Wilson Field as Cook walks on 4 pitches. So 4:30 p.m. the rest of the way as YD has pretty even split for the rest of the season in terms of home and road games. Felt like they've played at home a lot this season, even though it's been an equal number just because they played so many home games to start the year, and now to end the year they are playing so many home games. It was the middle part that was stacked with a lot of trips on the road. YD just finished up a road trip that concluded yesterday.
Seems like it's been pretty evenly spread throughout the season.
Gleed fires that one foul. 0-1.
Casey Cook as the leadoff batter aboard. That's the third inning in a row that YD has started off with a leadoff batter on first.
Scored 2 runs in the last inning for the first time all game after scoring 1 in each of the first 3. As the Red Sox lead at 5-0. Rhesus will throw over to first. Ryan Rhesus, lefty, out of San Ramon, California. Second straight season that he has pitched for Orleans. Appeared for them 8 times last summer. Gleed swings through the 0-1 offering. Had a 3.48 ERA last summer, 9 walks and 5 strikeouts in 10 1/3 innings pitched. He's a predominantly bullpen guy for UC San Diego during the spring. Gleed moved the hands but takes ball 1.
And to put YD pitching in context, they have been so phenomenal this season that they're leading the league in ERA at 3.6. The team behind them, Orleans, is at 4.03. That's a 0.4 difference.
Gleed hits it on the ground. One hopper towards third. Handled by Stallman onto second for 1. Throw to first is in time. And it's a 5-4-3 double play turned by the Orleans infield, as there are now 2 gone in the bottom of the 5th.
Out of LSU, number 14.
Just unlucky from Gleed.
Kling.
Orleans has learned their lesson today. They're protecting those lines well. We've seen 2 groundouts now up that third baseline.
So now Paxton Kling, who was 1 for 2 with a run scored, his single coming to lead off the last inning, came around. First time he's facing Ryan Rhesus, and the first pitch is a ball outside. Two balls and no strikes to Kling. First of back-to-back home games for YD before they hit the road Wednesday to take on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in Hartford, Connecticut. 2-0 comes way in on Kling for ball 3. Nearly got hit there. He's ahead in the count 3-0. Excited to call one of 2 games off Cape this summer for the Cape Cod Baseball League. Other coming at Polar Park, home of the Worcester Red Sox, as that pitch is in there for a strike.
Dunkin' Donuts Park looks pretty cool over there in Hartford, Connecticut. It's a very highly rated minor league field. Really excited to get over there, call a game in a professional booth.
3 balls and 2 strikes now after the foul ball.
This season has just flown by. That Hartford game looked like a dot in the faraway future, and all of a sudden it's coming up tomorrow. Excuse me, in 2 days.
Three-two is outside for ball 4, and so Kling walks to extend the inning. Second free pass of the inning by Rhesus, and with 2 outs, we will see another batter as Ryan Jackson returns to the plate. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a sac bunt.
6, Ryan Jackson.
Ryan Jackson's average has really climbed. He came into today 350.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. When Jackson about 4 or 5 games ago was batting in the range of the 300 mark, you could say it was a pretty quiet 300. He'd just kind of done his thing with about a hit a game. He has gotten a lot more noticeable. As the runner goes, Jackson hits it up the middle. It's handled by Rhesus, and he will put him out at first. And that will end the inning. Red Sox go scoreless for the first time as they get 4 to the plate, but Strand 1 still leading this game by 5. Headed to the 6th. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast. 5-0 Red Sox lead in the top of the 6th inning. Jason Doktorzik back on the mound for YD. And the first pitch is hit on a hop over towards short, handled by Jackson, thrown on to first. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 6th. That has kind of told the story of how Doktorzik's outing has gone through 5 1/3 now. No runs off 5 hits. And he has been very, very strong. Just 1 extra base hit in this game, and Orleans has had nothing to show for their offensive performance thus far. Doktorzik with 7 strikeouts.
He's been averaging just 12.5 pitches per inning.
Penny takes that backdoor breaking ball for a first pitch strike. That has been as well located for a backdoor pitch as I think we've seen from anybody all season, YD-wise or from an opponent. He has had that pitch cooking and has thrown it a lot. Pitch bounces down and in for 1 ball, 1 strike. That's the money spot, though. So any pitcher will tell you if you can locate any spot, that's the one you're looking for. Down and away on the hitter.
He's particularly had the number of these top 3 in the lineup.
2 balls and a strike now to Penny. Oyama 0 for 3, Rubin 0 for 3, Penny so far 0 for 2. And the top 3 in the order have struck out 4 times against Doktorzik. Lifted up in foul ground and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jack Penny. Pitch is high and away, and the count is full. Doktorzik still has not given up a free pass. Remember, back to the 2nd inning, probably the closest he was. He was in a 3-2 count with the bases loaded to Jake Casey. Threw the slider and got him to strike out looking. Payoff is lifted into left, and that's a base hit. A liner over the head of Ryan Jackson. And a 1-out knock for Jack Penny ends the woes of the top 3 in the order for Orleans. 1 gone for Matt Hallback with a runner aboard.
Diego, number 31, Matt Hallback.
First time we've seen that top of the order not go 1, 2, 3 today. Just 1 on with 1 out. Doktorzik up to 73 pitches.
During the break, Boston Mavius was warming up in the YD bullpen, the lefty out of BYU. Doktorzik's first pitch is fouled off. Mavius has not yet pitched for the Red Sox this season, was activated a few days ago. Stopped throwing for a moment, but now he's back to it over in the YD pen. Oh, 1 pitch. Hit on the ground over towards third. Darby is second for 1. Austin on to first. The scoop by Gleed, and it's a double play. Second twin killing dealt out by the YD infield in this game, and that retires the top of the 6th. Still 5-0 YD as they will bring the top of the order to the plate when we come back. All Red Sox as you're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League broadcast.
number 9, RJ.
Top of the order for YD, looking to do more damage in the bottom of the 6th. It has been all Red Sox to this point from both pitching and hitting. Austin is 2 for 3 with a single and a double. And the first pitch drops down low for ball 1. Reese is back at it on the mound for Orleans. Boston Mabius continuing to warm up in the Whitey bullpen. We'll probably see him in the 7th. Austin goes ahead 2-0. Red Sox scored 1 in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and then added 2 in the 4th to make it 5-0. They went scoreless in the last inning for the first time. The 2-0 is popped up. Foul ground. Carpellotti gives it a chase, and it just gets out of play, landing in the 2nd row.
That perfectly split 2 onlookers who have chairs set up here. It is a miracle that it didn't hit either of them. It literally bounced into maybe 3 inches of space right between them.
2-1 count to Austin. There's a good amount of people here. That's not a spot where you typically think you're in the danger zone here at Red Wilson Field, but that's where that one landed. Austin lines this one left side, base hit. 3rd hit of the day for RJ, who continues to light up this batting lineup for YD. Leadoff man aboard for the Red Sox. They've done that in every inning except for the 2nd. And now Hunter Hines, coming off his first hit of the day, will try to get his 2nd. He is 1 for 2.
11th hit of the day for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 6th.
Red Sox have had 11 or more hits in each of the last 3. Coincidentally, those are the wins as Hines lifts this one towards center. King coming a long way, but he makes the catch, shows off the legs as Austin goes back to first. 1 gone in the bottom of the 6th.
2nd time today that it's just gone off the very end of Hines' bat. He's been aggressive, going after it at the top of the zone, and it's just out of reach to where it's not quite at the barrel, and it's been lifted out towards left field, left center. Excuse me, right field, center field.
Runner on first and 1 away for Braden Montgomery as Reese throws a hard pick off to first. Montgomery struck out swinging in what was a pretty big spot back in the 1st inning, but has followed it up, bouncing back with a couple of base hits. Another fastball over to first by Reese. Came in to close out the 4th inning. This is the 2nd time Montgomery's gotten a hit against him, so he's got 2 at-bats from the lefty box, and now this is his 2nd as a righty. Takes the first pitch high as Austin bluffed over on first. Montgomery rolls that one foul. It's a ball and a strike. He has seen his average climb over 300 for the first time. In fact, all the way up to 400 now with 2 hits in this game. Montgomery hitting an even 400. Ball and a strike to the utility man in the transfer portal out of Stanford. Pitch bounces in. Austin is drawing all sorts of attention on first base right now, with Ryan Reese, the lefty, having a great look at him. Two balls and a strike to Montgomery. Pumps that one foul, and it's 2-2. Montgomery played last season for YD and 2-8 for the Red Sox, back for a 2nd straight summer. Pick off over to first. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Brought it down low, and Montgomery went chasing at it. That's his second strikeout, but in between, he had a couple of big base hits for YD. Still a pretty good day at the plate for Montgomery. Xander Darby has had another fantastic day. He is 2 for 3. Couple of base hits and a flyout in this game for Darby. As YD looks to avoid a scoreless inning for the second straight frame.
Darby's had a lot of support all season from his grandparents, who have been at Cape Cod locals during the summer for a long time now. They've gone to a lot of Cape Cod League baseball games in the past. Really special to be able to watch their grandson now playing, but even more family members visiting.
Runner goes, pitches high, and Austin is in there safely.
Really nice jump from RJ. He got ahead, and it ended up not being as close as I originally thought it would be. Not a bad throw from Carpellotti, but by the time it skipped once in the dirt, Austin was already in there.
So a favorable count to Xander Darby, and a base hit could give the Red Sox another run. There's a strike on the outer corner. Mentioned how big this game is for divisional purposes, with YD and Orleans being right next to each other. Red Sox with a 3.5 game lead over the Firebirds, as Orleans has 1 game at hand. But also this could be big for YD's hopes of just clinching the playoff berth, as Harwich and Chatham will meet later tonight. 2-1 in the dirt for ball 3. If YD holds on to this one and Harwich beats Chatham, the Red Sox are in the playoffs. 2 teams playing in clinching scenarios tonight. YD along with Hyannis, who would clinch the playoffs if they could have a better performance than Wareham. If Hyannis picks up at least 1 more point than the Gatemen.
Wareham
Pitch
playing
clock.
2 today in Bourne.
Yeah, they're playing against the Braves. They're losing 6-0. We just saw a pitch clock walk, which is rather rare.
I think Darby's a little disappointed. I think he wanted to get another pitch.
Yeah, it's a 3-1 count with a runner in scoring position, thinking you might get a fastball. You might have lost an opportunity to get an RBI there. Puts a man under the open base, but
in a way it's almost strategic, like an intentional walk. Puts that force back in play. Does a lot of things.
Manny Garza takes a pitch high and away. I mean, if you're going to pitch around a guy, why not, maybe as a strategic move, take a pitch clock violation, try to throw off his rhythm a little bit. Could be something we see experimented with as this pitch clock continues. Double steal for the Red Sox, and the throw to third is in time, and Austin is gunned down. He thought he slid around it, but our third base umpire, Carmen Parati, had a good angle of it and said that Carpellotti got him out at third. That ends the inning as the Red Sox can't play to run, but YD continues to lead 5-0. Headed to the 7th. Back in a moment, you're watching Red Sox baseball on the Cape League.
Back for the top of the 7th with Eddie Micheletti Jr. leading off. New pitcher on the mound. It's a Red Sox debut from Boston Mabius out of BYU. But that performance, Luke, from Jason Doktorczyk in his first start was incredible.
Yeah, 6 innings, 6 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts for the righty out of Nevada. We were talking off air that with this team pitching as well as they have this season, it's hard to say that that's the #1 guaranteed best outing we've seen from a pitcher all season, but it is certainly up there from Doktorczyk. That was phenomenal, phenomenal work.
Mabius starts it off with 2 called strikes to Micheletti, who's 1 for 2 today and has reached twice because he reached on a fielder's choice that second time around. The 0-2 coming in. Just off the plate. Micheletti moved his shoulders but didn't bite. Mabius has gone to this sinker now, going away from lefty batters because he is a lefty. If you're a lefty, does the sinker become the slider? The 1-2 swung on and missed. Strike 3 from Eddie Micheletti Jr. And Mabius strikes out the first batter he faces. Now, we've had a series of Red Sox debuts for pitchers, and in the last 3, maybe even 4 Red Sox pitchers debuting, a home run has been given up in the first inning of the debut. Mabius here has a chance to end that streak.
Got us on the edge of our seats in a 5-0 game right now.
First pitch on the way to Stallman, ripped into right field, but Dub Glede with the diving, jumping catch. Oh my gosh, he got way up there, used every single bit of his vertical to snag that out of the air. What an unbelievable defensive play from the YD first baseman. Stallman was robbed.
That was extra base hit, had it written all over it there, and man, Dub Glede has been so good at first base this season for YD.
2 up, 2 down for Mabius, and the check swing goes around for strike 1 on Carpellotti. The 0-1 swung on and missed. Carpellotti below it for strike 2. Mabius coming out dealing, and he's 1 strike away from retiring the side in 3 batters. The infield shifted way to the pull side with Austin out in shallow right field. Mabius fires just off the plate for ball 1. Boston Mabius, a native of Henderson, Nevada, attends BYU. Most recent addition to this YD lineup. His father played in the majors with the Brewers and is now a scout for Perfect Game. As the 1-2 comes in, ripped into right field. This one gets over Glede's head, but it won't be extra bases as Montgomery makes his way over there to defend. The throw gets over Austin's head on the cutoff, but Jackson was backing it up. Seventh hit of the day for Orleans, but they haven't been able to bring any around. Those hits have been spread out, and except for when they loaded the bases against Doktorczyk in the second, they haven't had anyone on third since then. Fresh count to Eddie King Jr. He's 2 for 2. He's had a nice day with a single and a double, and he swings and misses at the first pitch. Stepping back into the box with those red cleats, representing the Louisville Cardinals. The 0-1 flies away for ball 1. Mabius fires, the check swing went around for strike 2. It was a close one, But the sword has King one strike away from ending the inning.
A lot of ugly swings produced by this breaking stuff from Boston Mabius.
Mabius checks on his runner at first. The pitch bumped towards the bleachers as it's pushed the opposite way by King. And we will stay at 1-2. Carpellotti swinging the arm with Gleed, backing him up. The 1-2 flies in and beats the shift right where Austin would usually be if he's playing second base, but that time the shift was on the opposite direction over towards the center of the field, and it just sneaks through that 3-4 hole for a base hit, 2 in a row now for Orleans as they have runners in first and second.
That was a jam shot and a half from Eddie King, but he's got his third hit of the day. Good job to beat the shift.
Pinch hitting for the Firebirds out of JMU, number 13.
Any means
Tedeschi.
necessary. Not the prettiest hit, but it'll get the job done when there's nobody over there. Fenwick Trimble coming in to pinch hit against Jake Casey, notoriously hitless all season against YD. Big cut and a miss for strike one in his first pitch faced. Trimble out of James Madison. He is 0 for 18 all season. Has not reached base, and a pitch clock violation to Mabius. Evens the count at 1-1.
I was going to say, is that the first time we've seen 2 in a game?
I believe it
this
is.
season?
Also from the opposite team, we've seen a lot
Yep.
from YD. In the same inning as well as the 1-1 comes in. Popped up into foul territory. Gleed might have a play on it, sprinting towards the bleachers, and he makes the sliding grab. Trimble's hitless streak continues, now 0 for 19, and the YD keeps things scoreless for the Firebirds here as it's 5-0 Red Sox heading to the stretch at Red Wilson. It's a bullpen kind of day for the Firebirds. New guy on the bump in Chase Loomis. First batter he'll face is Manny Garza, batting from the right side this time. The catcher out of Rice, who's 1 for 3 today. Garza's had a couple of hard hit balls. One of them found the outfield glove as ball 1 sails in above the shoulders. Garza has been strong so far and goes after this one but misses for strike 1. Loomis fires the breaking stuff, misses high. Moves the count to 2-1. Garza is 5 for 14 with 2 walks and an RBI. And the check swing, unfortunate, bumps off the bat for strike 2. Shadows just starting to creep over the field, but this one's gone quickly so far. As Garza pokes it towards shallow right field, sprinting in, 3 players converge, and it's Oyama from second who makes the grab on the run. Garza reached for one off the plate, likely would have been called the ball, but hungry for a hit, pokes it off the end of his bat. And that'll bring up Casey Cook.
UNC Chapel Hill, number 16, Casey Cook.
Cook is 0 for 1 with a ground out, but he's had a productive day, a sac fly and a walk. Two beautiful sinkers in a row curving away from him. Backdoor into the zone, he's down 0-2. The pitch on the ground towards short. Penny is across the diamond in time. Casey was close to beating that out, but Penny makes the routine play on the 6-3 putout.
Next up, out of UC
2
Irvine,
gone in the 7th.
4,
They almost beat that. Being pretty routine looking, but it's been a good start for Loomis, who has been a bit shaky back and forth throughout the season. Red Sox, last time they faced him, only time they faced him, scored 2 runs off of him, and he recorded just 1 out.
First pitch ball comes into Dub Gleed, who's 0 for 3. Couple of flyouts and a ground out. Outfield shifting over towards the pull side, and it's popped up a mile high. Shallow infield. Halbach, the first baseman, makes the grab, but almost lost it in the sun. YD goes quietly in the 7th. We're headed to the top of the 8th, still 5-0 Red Sox. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League. Top of the 8th, and Orleans has been scoreless up to this point. They've gotten a lot of runners on base. They've stranded all of them. 8 hits for the Firebirds. As strike one comes into Oyama from Boston Mabius. They have not, however, benefited from free passes because YD hasn't given up any of them. As the curve flies in just above the top of the zone, Mabius has a lot of movement, puts a lot of spin on these breaking balls. He has the curveball in his arsenal as well as the sinker. As the 1-1 comes in, that time the curve drops low for ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. To the second baseman out of Okinawa, Japan, Joichiro Oyama, college teammate of Dub Gleed at UC Irvine. It's popped up foul and out of play for strike 2. The two of them were second team All Big West selections together. As Oyama takes a step out of the box to reset. Pitch on the way, golfed up into the shallow outfield. Kling underneath it. That ball got a lot further than it looked off the bat, but just a couple of steps from the LSU center fielder has the first batter gone, and Oyama hitless still, 0 for 4 now. Last 2 days hasn't recorded a hit against YD. For someone that's batting, his batting average is the second highest in the league for qualified hitters. His on-base percentage around 450, and he's only been on base once in the last 2 days. First pitch strike flies into Justin Rubin, who's also 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Checks the swing on the 0-1, but does not go around. As the count evens up at 1 with 1 gone. Rubin is really loading up in the legs right now. He's crouched over, making the zone a little smaller as the 1-1 flies in, goes around that time. Another ugly swing forced by Mabius' breaking balls. And it's a ball and 2 strikes to Justin. The righty out of UVA heading to Pepperdine. Pitch on the way, pushed foul, opposite side towards concessions, and will stay at 1-2. Mabius fires and it runs in on the hands for ball 2. The count evens up at 2. Two crushed out towards left field, but can't make it far enough as Cook is there. 2 balls make it to the outfield, but YD is all over it. And there's 2 gone in the 8th.
Number 11, Jack Penny.
Haven't seen YD pitching have to use the entire field much in this game. That a rare one to see it all the way out near the fence by Rubin.
Penny up to the plate. He's 1 for 3. Had a hit his last time around. Broke that hitless rut for the top 3 in the order. The top 2 still hitless, a combined 0 for 8. Penny trying to start something here with 2 outs on, build up a rally. Just 4 outs left to work with, and he swings and misses for strike 1. He's already gone down swinging once today. That was his first time around in Doc Torzik's immaculate inning. 1-1 swung on, foul tipped into the glove of Garza, and the count's 1-2. Shift comes into play as Xander Darby from third trots all the way over to the right side of the bag. There's 3 on that side. Austin is in the shallow outfield. Gleed regular. Bumped foul off the tip of the bat. The defensive swing heads towards the parking lot. Doesn't make it all the way there. Drops in a field behind our press box. The pitch just yanked foul. Penny swinging defensively. These last 2 have been off the very end of the bat. Orleans all day has been backed up in the box waiting on this breaking stuff. YD has thrown some breaking ball heavy pitchers today, and Orleans has struggled. There's been a lot of swing and misses. A lot of soft contact as the pitch is on the way, and it hits him. First free pass of the day. Jack Penny reaches for the second time today. And Matt Halbach now up, trying to bring that runner around. Maybe as the lefty has a good look at Penny over on first. First pitch comes in, big cut and miss from Halbach. Ran in on him on that inside half of the zone. Even infield, Austin pulled slightly towards second. Outfield slightly shifted to the pull side as it's pulled foul up the third baseline. Oh, 0-2 to Matt Halbach. The pitch just off the plate. Garza tried to frame it up on the fastball, a rare fastball. Haven't seen a lot of those. A ball and 2 strikes with 2 gone. Maybe it steals. Chopped back up the middle. Jackson has it on the charge. The throw in time. Ryan Jackson, a 6-3 put out to retire the side. Orleans still scoreless through 8, just 3 outs left to work with for the Firebirds. Meanwhile, YD trying to tack on some insurance. They've been dominant and will head to the bottom of the 8th on the Cape League.
Now batting out of LSU, number 14.
Bottom of the 8th, Paxton Kling leading off for the Red Sox. He has a hit today. He reached last on a walk, so he's reached twice today. And ball one flies in the lefty box. Just finished up his freshman year at LSU. Has been the regular center fielder as he lays off on strike one. Lummis delivers in the off speed, gets Kling, who is way ahead of it. A ball in 2 strikes. Lummis set, he fires, runs in and gets away from Carpellotti behind the plate, but nobody on base to take advantage as the count moves to 2-2. Loomis delivers the breaking ball, chopped foul towards the dugout as the YD players rush out to grab it. The 1-2 runs in again, and the count is full for Kling. He's done that a lot this season, running up the pitch count on opposing pitchers, staying really disciplined. The payoff flies high and away. A ball 4. Kling walks for the second time today. Another leadoff guy aboard for the YD Red Sox. Brings up Ryan Jackson.
Next up, out of USC, number 6, Ryan Jackson.
Ryan Jackson has extended his hit streak to 5 games already as he takes a first pitch strike. 2 of those for multiple hits, including yesterday at Orleans. The 0-1 on the way, flies away. The count evens at 1. Loomis staring down Kling, and he'll toss it over there. Toes on the back line for Jackson as the 1-1 comes in. Fastball down the heart of the plate, strike 2. Kling diving back to first as another pickoff comes in from Loomis. Jackson will take his time, rocking the Trojan ankle guard. The 1-2, runner goes, runs inside. The throw way up high, and Oyama leaping to collect it. Kling's second stolen base of the day. Two and 2 now to Ryan Jackson.
He's putting on a show for his coach.
Ball 3 drops low. Nice take from Jackson. Runs the count full. Second full count of the inning so far. Both of these guys we've seen have run it up on Loomis, who's up to 22 pitches. The payoff flared into shallow center field, sprinting in. King makes the shoestring grab, and Kling thought about tagging and running, but thinks better of it and heads back to second as Jackson is retired. The balls today have been carrying a little bit further than it looks off the bat. That one looked like it would drop in the shallow outfield, and King had a bit of a run but got there with plenty of time. And we have a pinch hitter for RJ Austin, who finished 3 for 4 on the day with 2 singles and a double. Bringing in Garrett Ostrander, another recent addition to the YD lineup, a rare outfielder as YD has a heavily infielder roster. He takes ball one, still batting 1,000 with a hit and a walk. Both of those times he's come around to score. Padding the stats these first couple of games on the Cape. The 1-0 flies in just at the top of the zone. Floats up there for strike one. Big swing and a miss from Ostrander as he goes down for strike two. Second Cal Baptist addition to the team, in addition to Ryan Delgado, who pitched a really nice game yesterday. Was a member of the WAC defensive team and swings and misses strike three. Goes down on 4 pitches in the pinch hit. And we'll have another pinch hitter. It's Connor Dykstra batting for Hunter Hines.
Pinch hitting Red Sox out of George Mason, number 22, Connor Dykstra.
Dykstra pinch hit and had a hit his last time around a couple of days ago. When he does put the ball in play, he's been something of an RBI machine. He has 4 hits and 4 runs batted in this season. As strike one comes in, the fastball on the outside half of the zone. Loomis fires. The 0-1 flies away. Couldn't backdoor in there. And it's a ball and a strike to the Canadian catcher. Connor Dykstra plays at George Mason. Runner goes on third. Kling is in there with plenty of time to spare. He got a really good jump, just timed up Chase Loomis. And ball two also flew into Dykstra. Pickler has been aggressive in the base paths, and it's really gone towards his favor. Only one caught stealing today. That was Austin on third. Dykstra swings and misses for strike two. Resets himself and steps back in at the back of the box. Kling with a big lead on third. Check swing from Dykstra. And he says he went around. I have to say I do not agree with that call, but unfortunately Connor Dykstra goes down on strikes. Loomis strikes out 2 and retires the side. We head to the 9th. 3 outs left for the Firebirds, who trail 5-0. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League broadcast. Top of the ninth, the Red Sox have dominated the Firebirds all day, and Boston Mabius has returned a really nice debut for him so far. He's put 2 zeros on the scoreboard, and Eddie Micheletti will start off the rally attempt for Orleans as they try to dig themselves out of this 5-0 shutout. First pitch flown into foul territory. Darby does not have a play as it reaches far enough towards the line. No balls and a strike to Micheletti, who has a single today. Other than that, reached on a fielder's choice, went down swinging his last time around. Mabius kicks and deals, flies up at the shoulders for ball one. YD pitching today, 8 strikeouts. Just 1 free pass on the hit by pitch. The 1-1 ripped out towards right field. That'll drop in front of Braden Montgomery, who gets to it quickly to hold off the extra bases, but Micheletti has his second hit of the day.
Next up, out of UNC Charlotte.
Might be the hardest hit ball off an Orleans bat today. It certainly made a loud sound from Micheletti, but he has been good at the plate for Orleans. It has not been due to lack of hits that the Firebirds have been trailing in this game. They're up to 9 now.
Rare to see that many hits in a shutout game, but YD pitching has just shut it down whenever they've threatened. This one is on the ground and sneaks through the gap into right field. Montgomery gets to it again as Ostrander, who's now in at second base for Austin, was moved over, pinched in the middle, and that just sneaks through the 3-4 hole. 2 hits in a row to start off this rally. Second hit of the day as well for Brandon Stallman.
It's unfortunate if your Mabius is
Out of Virginia,
draw the rollover and doesn't go your way, as now Kelly Nicholson will go to his bench with the pinch hitter.
It wasn't particularly hard hit. Two aboard, nobody gone for Owen Carpellotti. In the 7 hole, we have a pinch hitter, Colin Tuft, who had a nice day yesterday. The switch hitter we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. We saw him hit from both sides in one at bat. As the first pitch comes in low for ball 1. It gets away from Garza. He completely lost it up the line, but Orleans holds off. A ball and no strikes to Colin Tuft as he swings that bat circular before resetting. A lefty on a righty. Tuft is playing for the splits. Ball 2 drops low again. It's that sinker coming in, dropping just below the zone. And as they've done all day, Orleans has, for the most part, really held off earlier in these counts. I think expecting the breaking stuff. They haven't wanted to chase early. And so 2 nice pitches that are just below the zone are called 2 balls as Colin Tuft moves ahead in the count. Mabius fires, pushed foul on the fastball, strike 1. Two and 1 for Colin Tuft. Mabius delivers. Just bumped foul. That one a nicely breaking pitch. Just slid in on the hands of Tuft. 2-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. Mabius gets the first out of the inning. He's 2 away from closing this out. And Tuft comes up short in the pinch hit attempt. As Eddie King Jr. comes back, and if there's one guy you want at the plate, it's him. He is 3 for 3 today with 2 singles and a double. Anything to the outfield would likely score Micheletti, who's the lead runner on second. And Mabius readies for the first pitch. It's on the way, flies high. Ball 1 to the righty out of Louisville. The 1-0 comes in, called strike 1, the fastball on the lower outside part of the zone. Evened up at 1. Mabius is stone-faced right now. He is locked in. Set at the letters, the pitch. Floats at the top of the zone, strike 2. King's going to be forced to swing here on anything close. The 1-2 is swung on and missed. Strike 3. Mabius gets 2 in a row swinging after starting it off with 2 hits. And Orleans is 1 out left.
Next up, out of James Madison.
Yeah, good bounce back after
Fenwick Trimble.
the single, and then the second straight single, the unlucky one on the bat of Stallman. Maybe is striking out the last 2. He's looked very comfortable here in his debut.
Speaking of unlucky, it's Fenwick Trimble at the plate. Hitless against YD all season, 0 for 19. First pitch comes in, pushed foul into the backstop, strike 1. And it's not for lack of trying. He's had some really hard hit balls to the outfield. They've just found some YD gloves. Popped out in foul territory his first time around today after coming in for a pinch hit attempt. Runners on first and second. Big leads from all of them. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Orleans down to their final strike. And it rests on the shoulders of Fenwick Trimble, number 13, out of James Madison University. He readies for the pitch, as does Mabius. It's on the way. Swing and a miss. Fenwick Trimble goes down on strikes. Boston Mabius strikes out the side to close out the shutout. An absolute clinic from YD pitching. They put up 11 hits in the victory, and they have looked unstoppable the last few games.
Yeah, this team is rolling, coming out of the All-Star break, picking up where they left off. Red Sox win another one, and like we've seen throughout this win streak, they left little doubt about this one. 10 hits in the game for Orleans, but they could not get a run. Excellent pitching, excellent hitting as usual for YD, and they have a stranglehold now over the rest of the East Division.
Both teams left 9 runners aboard, but opposite in the scorebook as the Red Sox win this one 5-0. They'll be back at home tomorrow to face Cotuit, the leaders in the West, versus the leaders in the East. Cotuit so far has owned that series, but a red-hot Red Sox team trying to change that. Tomorrow again, a change start time, 4:30 p.m. We'll be back on the call from Perri, Kitei, Luke West, Poley, our producer, Anna Tedeschi, and the whole team here at the YD Red Sox. Thank you and good night.